It was a wonderful experience.
It is my pleasure to be here
And
today.
I'm happy that Capital Toastmasters is in the finals on 21st.
To debate and prepare your arguments for
Please
it.
join us next time with the debate and learn how to find more in
Feel
yourself.
good to participate in debate.
And once your time is up, the bell will ring continuously. Anything said by the debaters beyond the bell ringing continuously will not be considered by the judges. With the capital speakers team, which are the affirmative team, we have the captain, Toastmaster Elena Rezukova. The second speaker is Toastmaster Leslie Salana. And the third speaker is Toastmaster Nasima Khan. And we have the negative team on my left side, captained by Toastmaster Chirag Parekh. The second speaker is Toastmaster Prabhakar G. And the third speaker is Toastmaster Vanita Bhatt. Debaters, please note that any protests are to be addressed to the Chief Judge only. Let's go right into the debate. I welcome the captain of the affirmative team, Toastmaster Elena Rezukova, to take the stage. Let me tell you when your time starts. Just hold on. The time starts now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is amazing how the topic of the previous debate ties right into our proposition. Seniority, not merit, should be the criterion for promotion. We are the affirmative team and we strongly support this proposition. The key words of the proposition. Seniority is a privileged position earned by reason of on the service or higher rank. Merit is the quality of being particularly good or worthy, especially so as to deserve praise or reward. Criteria are principles or standards by which something may be judged or decided. Promotion is the action of promoting somebody to a higher position or rank, or the fact of being so promoted. To present a broad perspective on the advantages of seniority-based promotions, we have looked at a variety of jobs in a variety of countries. The seniority promotion plan is as old as civilization. Historically, it is a success, and it survives because no better plan has been evolved that has won public confidence. It is simple, and seniority is easy to determine. Seniority-based promotion is the most transparent promotion system with no scope for ambiguity, favoritism, manipulation, or discrimination. It creates a sense of job security and opportunity for all. First, seniority-based promotion in the police would have saved the US taxpayers millions of dollars in lawsuits filed by candidates who were discriminated in the merit-based system. In 1995, in Louisiana, the police test for merit-based promotion was determined to be not job-related and had a disparate impact on African Americans who were otherwise qualified. A $1 million fund was established to compensate the applicants harmed by the testing procedure. In Chicago, Illinois, the promotional procedures were challenged repeatedly over decades. Eventually, the court ruled that the test had disparate impact on minorities and women. The city was penalized. In 2012, in Louisiana, House Bill 1137 looked to change the way police officers were promoted. The current civil service-based system of seniority was going to be changed to merit. Before implementing the bill, tests test results were analyzed to evaluate the impact on minorities. 80 to 100% of qualified minorities would have been excluded from promotional consideration. Some who would have been excluded have actually been promoted based on seniority. Second, the elimination of seniority-based promotion would impact firefighters. The mayor of Baton Rouge said, "We are not going to the merit-based system." Third, the prevalent type of promotion under the guise of merit, which Chris Hayes in his book, The Fair Debate, called a dead duck, leads to large-scale discrimination and affects the whole society. The American system, based on merit, transformed quickly into plutocracy of a minority of the wealthiest citizens. You can earn seniority, but merit is preconditioned by your birth, inheritance, gender, even your geographical location. Only 10% of young people from the bottom rung of society and up to 80% from middle class go to college. Social mobility upwards improves in societies where seniority counts. North European countries enjoy the highest social mobility, while the UK and the US, with the strongest belief in merit, have the lowest social mobility. Merit-based promotions in Silicon Valley, California, are a powerful myth which falsely implies that those who reach the top positions deserve them, while entire categories of people are excluded. In Japan, while the working environment is changing slowly, security still counts. Professionals promoted to the top share years of accumulated wisdom, well-established connections, and the ability to stay calm in the face of crisis.
Thank you for your speech. Let's go to the questions. Your beginning of the speech, the seniority is as old as civilization, and it's the same literature from where this topic comes. Do you know the next sentence of this statement?
I did not memorize the source, but it says historically it is a success.
Okay, I will tell you the next sentence. It was better at that time because no other system evolved and developed. That's why they were following that system at that time. That was the next sentence of that literature.
It still exists until today.
Yeah, it still exists, but what is your strength that it is overcoming the performance-based system or merit-based system? Can you explain me that?
Because merit-based system, as I said, is preconditioned. You are born, many times you are born into merit. You are born into a class. You are born into a family.
Do you
and
know?
Those children, they don't have a chance like us, the lucky ones, who were able to get education and were able to promote ourselves.
Do you know what are the tools used for the merit-based system before making this statement?
Yes, depends what you look at. We looked at the police system in England, and they are leadership, responding to challenges, decision-making, management skills, managing budgets, accountability, adaptability, and
what is
working
the
in
name
certain
of the tool?
environments.
What is the name
And
of the
this
tool?
is, this is so difficult to define which merit, plus who will evaluate you? How can I guarantee that this person's merit is the one the company is looking for?
Thank you very much for all the points. We will explain in our speech that how we evaluate and how we can overcome all the difficulties which are shared by you. Next, go to the next question. You are given the example of some police department where the merit system was not successful and they moved to seniority-based system, right?
No, it was seniority based originally,
Okay.
and they were going to make changes
Okay.
to more merit based.
Okay.
And it was historically, it started in 1995 in Louisiana, then it was in Chicago repeatedly. This system was challenged. I did not give all the dates
Okay,
because
fine.
it would take up too much of my time.
So what kind
And
of
then the
merit-based
last-
system they were planning to implement?
It was the examination test which repeatedly discriminated
Did they
minorities,
included the performance
women.
management system? Did they included the performance management system, which is the latest tool in the merit-based system?
This was police and firefighting. The president of the firefighting department said, do you want someone responding to your
No,
call
I'm asking
that
a
may
question.
want
Did they included the performance management system?
However, these people, the firefighters,
Just tell me when the time starts. Start.
Time starts now.
My speech starts with the same statement which she shared, which is seniority-based promotion system is as old as civilization. Eldest son was succeeded as a king for his father, and it survived at those times because at that time there was no other system developed or matured enough to be adopted. Good evening, Toastmasters, dear judges, and my dear worthy opponents. The topic of our debate is the seniority, not marriage, should be the criteria for promotion, and we strongly believe that marriage should only be the criteria for promotion, not the seniority. And our worthy opponent tried to explain some of the points, but we are refuting all the points because none of the point is justifying why seniority-based system is superior to merit-based system. But we will justify with evidence. Let me start first with the definitions. The definitions which are already agreed mutually by both the teams. The first definition is for seniority. A privileged position earned by reason of longer service or higher rank. The definition itself says that it's a privilege. You are taking a privilege because you spent more time. That's all. It's not something you earn. It's not something you achieve with your hard work, with your dedication, with your honesty, with your ethics. Let's go to the definition of merit. The quality of being particularly good or worthy, especially so as to deserve praise or reward. The definition itself says that you are good, you are worthy, and you need a reward and praise. The definition itself says this thing is a kind of endorsement, it's a kind of certification after conducting many sets of evaluation and assessment. That is what the definition of merit is, and these two definitions itself close the topic that merit should be the criteria of promotion and not the seniority. Let me share you another research which is done by Learning Theory Work Experience by European Union of Center for Development of Vocational Training. And it is also well known to all of us that by seniority, by working for more, spending more years of work, what we achieve is this. We achieve list of capabilities, and definitely my worthy opponents will add to that so many. I have just like job knowledge, develop skill, understanding of organization, knowledge of industry, connecting theory, practice, etc. This is what we get after seniority. Now let's go to the merit. And these all qualities are expected. No one can guarantee that one person who is a senior has all these things. It may not be. It all depends how we work for all these things. Now let's go to the merit. Once we go to the merit, we get this one. Where the qualities which are earned by experience is already a small subset of the main set. So these are guaranteed qualities which are earned by merit or guaranteed by merit, which is attitude, commitment, communication, efficiency, honesty, creativity, innovation, effectiveness, passion, attitude, in addition to the qualities which are part of the seniority. So it's a big set of qualities which are guaranteed, not expected. This is also proved. Now let me go to another theory which is proposed by one of the scientists in psychology, Professor Herman, in 1885. His book is Memory: A Contribution to Experimental Psychology. From that book, this is the learning curve which was developed by him. The learning curve clearly shows that with increase in years of experience, which is a seniority, only your learning increases in initial period and after that it becomes constant. So a person with A years of experience or B years of experience do not have much difference in knowledge or learning. And this is what proved by this scientist. Now let me tell you the merit-based system itself, how it evolved, because our worthy opponents were not knowing about it. It changed from an appraisal system to a performance management system, which is a very robust system which eliminates any differences, any disadvantages which they told or which they are going to talk about. So we want to say that seniority is a bias system for the seniors. It is a discriminating system for the seniors. We always think about seniors, whereas merit-based system is open. They consider junior and senior same. Educated, not educated, same.
The time starts now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we heard a very interesting monologue coming from our very senior friend Chirag. Chirag has purposely manipulated seniority. It says seniority is earned. You forgot the word earned. And the higher rank, which comes with experience, it is not given for free. Right? One more point. Merit is one part of seniority. Okay? And when seniority and merit come hand in hand, that's the only time it wins. Only merit cannot take you anywhere. Now let me talk about the questions which I'm going to ask you. If you are a merit-based employee, would the HR department would like to employ you if you change your job every 6 months? Are you an asset to the company in that case?
I think in none of my speech content I talk about my interview or my employment. So
But
it's out of my speech content.
So I believe merit is not one of the criteria.
No, it's not from my speech content.
Let's go to the second question. You said that the Professor Helburn, right, about the learning curve. Have you heard about Peter's principle?
You can share with me, I will not.
Peter's principle says that if a person is competent as a sales executive, it doesn't necessarily mean that he is competent enough, he is a sales manager. Would you agree to this?
This is exactly we are trying to say.
Would you agree?
This is exactly we are trying to say.
No.
That he has to be evaluated based on his skills. Because salesperson has spent 15 years to make him sales manager, that's not acceptable.
No, it comes with seniority. I'm sorry. If you just look at the merit within 1 year, because you are good enough for that particular job, it doesn't mean that you are good as a
This
manager.
is what we are trying, because performance management systems
Trying to
evaluate
manipulate.
based.
Let's go to the third question.
Okay.
The third question is, do you agree in the guard of merit-based selection, very often it is favoritism or likability chosen?
Not at all possible, because the current system which is evolved, so many factors are involved in that. It involves the evaluation by seniors, subordinates, juniors, third party, test by computers.
You are living in the illusionary world. I'm sorry, most of the time it is not merit, but there are other factors which work.
Then the company is not adopting the correct procedure. We need to improve the company's
Thank
environment.
you very much. The companies are not adopting procedures. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have, good evening once again. We have already refuted the charges made on seniority. That seniority is earned. It is not something which you get for free. You have to really work it out in the company. Now coming to the constructive speech, I would like to say that seniority is a basis Seniority promotes solidarity among workers as opposed to individualism. It is also objective and quantifiable. This is the reason all the top fortune companies rely heavily on seniority-based promotion. Let me give some examples. The Walmart company, which has almost 11,000 stores in almost 27 countries, 62% of the workforce are from seniority promotions. Let me give a second example of very important company, Chevron Texas, which is one of the most popular oil company. They are also working only on seniority-based promotions. Seniority is a guiding principle and not just dogmatic as our women's is suggesting us. Seniority also eliminates any pervasive racial or gender discrimination, as every employee has his way to work up in the organization. It eliminates bootlicking and favoritism. The trade union companies guarantees the fair work environment for all employees and also protects seniority by timely promotion and perks. It helps the organization to reduce any employee turnover. And merit-based employees are just opportunists with no loyalty at all to the company. For example, I would like to quote Unilever company in India. It's a successful company with around 16,500 employees, and as recently as 2014, they gave a token of appreciation to all the senior members. Around 67% of their workforce is senior employee promoted. Promotion just based on merit can have a very serious implication. I would like to give an example of Hurricane Katrina, which happened in the year 2005 in New Orleans. During that time, Mr. Michael Brown was promoted as the director of FEMA based on his previous merits. But unfortunately, he failed. And he failed massively. Millions of lives were displaced. During that time, President George Bush said that it was a mistake because he agreed to the principles that this is not the way just on merit to promote people. It has to be more based on experience, more intellectual experience, which comes only after you put many years in the organization. Promoting employees based on longevity experience is the most democratic way. Look at the airlines today, the airport, the air industry. Would you like to go with somebody who has no flying experience or just 10 hours of experience? No. The airline industry asks for 10 years of experience with more than 5,000 hours of flying to even fly a commercial aircraft. And how can we compete only on merit? It is completely working on seniority-based system. Seniority is the basis of promotion, not just in business and government bureaucracies, but it is also a basis in politics. US Senate believes that seniority and experience bring stability to the committee. Members with long terms of service to committee and nations are assumed to be senior and have more power in the committee because of their intellectual and judgmental skills. I would like to stress here intellectual and judgmental skills, which comes with experience, many years of experience. To conclude, I would say merit-based promotion cannot be measured as our friend suggested. It is just a play card that you can see to enjoy it, but it doesn't make any sense because it's intangible, it is impalpable, and it is insubstantiated, and it can be easily comprehended. While seniority comes with experience and permanent skill, it has no fallacy or deception. Thank you very much.
Good evening to all. Good evening. And good evening to my worthy opponent.
Thank you.
said loyalty is the main thing for any organization. So only loyalty is required for productivity is not required.
I said loyalty goes in hand with seniority. If you have only loyalty,
My friend, here we are talking about promotion.
okay.
Promotion for higher jobs.
Okay.
So we need to see whether the guy is having the required skills or not. Okay, so loyalty, if he has got loyalty, it can be rewarded by any other means. We can give pay increase, we can give higher pensions, not necessarily by promotion, because promotion is linked to the productivity of the organization. That is one point. You said favoritism. Do you know that even in armies, it has happened, in any organization, even in seniority system also, favoritism can happen. It can.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Favoritism is the cause.
So we are in the same boat. Merit system or seniority system, there can be favoritism can happen if there is no check for that.
Merit can happen in any state, but seniority gives you a chance. After 5 years or 10 years, when you do your job well, that is the only time you will get
Don't
a
worry,
chance.
we are going to explain to you.
chance to go up
We are
the
going to
ladder.
explain to you about this. You said the seniority system very simple, isn't it?
What is that?
Very simple.
Yeah.
So all simple things are very best.
Simple things has to be learned. You can do ordinary things in an extraordinary way. This is what I meant.
Okay. You said with experience, people get the skills automatically. Is it so?
Not automatically. Nothing works automatically.
So you
have
agree
to-
that senior person may have all skills?
No, you're getting me wrong. I said seniority comes with merit. Seniority, if you what you're doing in that first place when you are not in the company.
My friend, I think
How can you achieve seniority without being in the company for a while?
No. My question is, do you think that soft skills like, for example, communication, creativity, if a highly experienced person, he will have all these skills? Yes or no? He will have all the skills? These skills? I am talking about skills now. An experienced person, will he have all these skills with his automatically with a work experience?
What is your question?
My
It's
question-
what is your question?
You said experienced people. will
Once
get-
you are in the organization, okay, and you have certain amount of seniority, you will have skills for that
That's what
particular
exactly.
job.
I got my answer.
You have skills for that particular job.
I got your skill. I got your answer. That experienced people will automatically have all the skills.
Not
required for
automatic.
higher
Again, you are
position.
getting it wrong. It comes with training. It doesn't come automatically to anybody.
Yes, training.
It comes to anyone.
So see, if he doesn't have any training, that training,
So
he
you
may or
mean
may not
senior,
have.
senior people are not trained.
Some people may or may not. We are
No,
going to prove
some
that.
people
We
may.
are-
No, no.
Research
That's
says so.
nonsense.
I am going to.
That's not an argument.
I am going to prove that. Okay, thank you. Here Naik, CEO of Larsen Group, ranked second in the list of India's best CEOs, said, if you want the top talent anywhere in the world, merit is the only consideration. This is the defining moment to change the company from a seniority-driven one to a merit-driven one. Judges, Toastmasters, guests, and our worthy opponents, good evening once again. Friends, this assertion by one of the India's best CEOs reinforces our point of emphasis on merit. There is a growing realization of inherent defects, limitations, and disadvantages in the seniority-based rating system, in contrast to the benefits offered by merit-based system. Seniority-based system oversimplifies the promotion process. At the end, take the service register and promote the person with earliest joining date. Even one grade senior will be privileged to get the promotion. So just for yourself, the merit of the system. My colleague has already mentioned that handling leadership positions require soft skills such as creativity, innovation, intuition, emotional intelligence, to mention a few out of that. These skills are highly valued by organizations all over. IBM 2010 Global CEO Study found that CEOs believe that it requires creativity to successfully navigate the increasingly competitive world, and this leadership quality is highly valued for promotion. In his book, Business Intuition, behavioral scientist K.S. Williams said that employees with intuitive abilities are best suitable for strategic planning and decision-making positions. A study by USA universities, including University of Pune, published in Open Journal of Leadership, concludes that leaders exhibiting high emotional intelligence are more dedicated to their job performance. Such important soft skills are not considered as senior system. The perception is that, as my friend said, seniors with more number of years work experience already possess skills, but they may not be the case in all cases. Such skills and traits are either non-qualified for a person or gained with formal specialized training and continuous application of those skills. Friends, if leadership and communication skills are automatically gained in the workplace, why are we here in the Toastmasters Club? Studies conducted by psychologists and behavior scientists find no correlation between age, experience, and soft skills. George Land, the author of Breaking Point and Beyond, in a research study concluded that as a person grows, he starts learning non-creative behavior. Out of 280 adults he had studied, only 2% exhibited high level of creativity. Robert S. Woodsworth, the author of Psychology, a study of mental life, in his research study concludes that most creative inventions were made between the age of 20 to 40 years. Lehman, the author of Age and Age Achievement, in his research study concluded that creativity declines with age. George Valiant, the author of research paper, Does Wisdom Increase with Age? Says that there is no conclusive evidence that wisdom increases with age. It may or may not. Therefore, friends, our point is seniors may or may not have the soft skills required for occupying higher positions. Do not promote them automatically by for loyalty. Conduct merit rating to find out whether they really have those skills or not. Seniority stifles the motivation of meritorious candidates, forcing them to leave the organization. This can prove suicidal to our companies because in today's business world, with rapid changing technologies and stiff competition, creativity, innovation, and intuition are essential to introduce new products, new designs, new processes, and new business models. On the other hand, merit-based system helps in talent attraction and talent retention, which are the most challenging concerns of organizations in today's world. Employees today look for an exciting and challenging career with timely promotions and career advancement, along with learning and continuous education. Seniority system results in slow career growth, and so the company with such promotion policies are unattractive to the most talented and motivated employees. Additionally, merit rating system provides the incentive for all employees to acquire new skills and continuously update their knowledge to be responding for promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, in sum, employees should be promoted based on merit because such a model encourages ambition, creativity, and innovation, and because it helps the organization to retain its best and brightest employees. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Toastmaster Prabhakar. My very first question to you is, do you agree we can measure seniority but not merit?
No, I don't agree. Merit can be measured. Merit can be measured.
Can you give me an example?
There are so many psychological tests, okay, and online tests.
I don't.
There are group of psychologists and they're trained people who can judge merit.
This is you're talking about the test, but in a simple word, I can say seniority can be tested with the length of the service, and I believe the thing which we can't measure at the time of interview, at the time of the promotion, on the basis of that we can't give the promotion that is meant. My second question to you: you said there is no creativity, or it stopped at some level at seniors in seniors. How can you judge a person to promote on a basis of merit and he won't stop to become a creative?
Yes, here we are actually judging all the whether it is senior or junior. We are merit rating and finding the best candidate. We are
No,
not
but how
discriminating.
can you judge? How can you say that only a person holding a merit will be creative after getting promotion, where you have seen the senior who is promoted and who has given such a long time in an organization? If he can't be creative, you can't guarantee the merit.
It cannot be
holder
given-
can be created. Can you justify that?
Yeah, it cannot be even guaranteed in case of senior candidate. Even if he is promoted, there is no guarantee that he will perform well if he doesn't have any skills.
So it
it's
goes
better-
with the merit holder also, and in case of merit holder, there is more chances
No,
says that
in
there
case-
is he won't be creative because that person is getting promotion only on the basis of merit,
No.
and the senior person has the experience backed up with him. You have seen,
As I
seen
said-
the person experience. You have seen them working in practical.
What we have seen may not be.
Okay, my
Okay.
next question to you: do you believe that merit-based employee doesn't believe in longevity?
Pardon?
Do you believe that the merit-based employee doesn't believe in longevity?
If you ask me, today's employees are not looking for job security. They are looking for challenging assignments.
So it means
You are not- you are still in the old age.
is the asset to the organization and not the merit.
As I said, loyalty can be rewarded
But how
with
can
other.
you
other-
judge the loyalty on
One
the basis
minute.
of merit?
You are
on
asking
the
question
merit?
or allowing to answer?
Alright.
Okay. Loyalty should be recognized, but it can be recognized not necessarily with promotion. It can be rewarded with
How? Only on
pay
the merit
increases,
basis?
higher pensions, and rewarding.
No, how can you judge the loyalty of
Service
the
award
merit
you give.
holder?
Service award.
I'm not talking about seniority.
I think-
On the Good evening once again. The only ones for whom seniority shouldn't matter are the ones against seniority. And in today's debate, it's our worthy opponent. Along with my team members, I strongly believe that seniority, not merit, should be the criteria for promotion. We truly stand by this proposition, and I am sure after we share some never before heard facts, figures, and real life incidents supporting stands, you all, including my worthy opponent, will start living in the city. First, senior employees are productive, more loyal to the company. They are more skilled as they have learned from on-the-job training and experience. For example, Japan. Japan is one of the highly developed countries and went through rapid economic growth in the post-war years and still believes in the principle of seniority and taking along the employees together to build the organization. Companies like East JR is the railway center of Japan. Nearly 70 million people use the trains and railway facilities, and so it is an important facility in Japan, relies on 68% of senior workforce. I have numerous examples to give, but 5 minutes won't be enough. So, moving on to second, crisis management. We all know whenever there are crises in any field, a crisis management team is quickly formed comprising of experienced senior staff, and not the staff which is still celebrating its initial monthly work anniversary. Did you know that in June 2014, we found a case in India around 70% nurses went on 6-work strike in Regional Institute of Medical Science, and to resolve the issue, crisis management team was formed comprising all the senior doctors. Third, banks. According to financialservice.co.in, about 70% of job promotion in Indian banks take into account the length of service, that is seniority. For example, promotion in HDFC Bank is purely based on seniority basis. Promotion by seniority basis is a normal practice not only in banks but also in government departments because seniority takes away any bias, out-of-line promotion, favoritism, and maintains a harmonious working environment. Fourth, educational field. Experience is the best teacher. And experience comes with seniority. Have you ever seen a principal that directly become a principal without having enough experience as a teacher? I'm sure you are not. In educational industry, senior lecturers, teachers are much more efficient both in educating and disciplining students. Cutting out most experience also means cutting out most wise. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Youngest doesn't equate to best. Knowledge of both content and the ability to communicate that content comes only with longevity. Thus, promotion on the basis of seniority is also followed by educational industry. Finally, and my last point, doctors. To become a full-fledged doctor, even after having earned a merit, medical student needs to entrepreneurship. Why? To get enough experience to do his own job for which he or she has earned the merit years back. That means one successful operation shouldn't be criterion to promote a doctor to the next level. And now I will leave you all with the one last thought to ponder on. Just imagine that you own a company and there is one critical vacancy of general manager position. He is going to decide the future of your company. Two people walk in. One, merit holder backed with many years of experience. Second, higher merit holder, fresh graduate. In whose hands would you place the future of your company? Yes, indeed, promotion in any field should be on the basis of seniority and not merit.
My first question is, you said about the transformation that is happening in the country Japan. So are you sure that they are not following the merit-based system?
I said they are following mainly the seniority basis system, and I have the figure 68% of the seniority workforce are involved in the economic growth. So it means more than half of the Japan companies are following seniority based system. I'm not saying that they are not following at all. Yes, there are few percentage of companies who are following the merit principle, but it's mainly because of seniority.
Yeah. Do you have the year when the statistics or the report taken?
I'm not sure about the years, but yes, I said the post-war, and war is a really big thing. To overcome that situation, they have followed seniority basis principle. So it means it works even in the worst situation where the country has suffered such a big situation like war. So yes, if it is followed by a country which has gone through such a critical situation, I'm sure it will be applicable to other field as well.
So what you're saying is, okay, it's a very decade old. Okay, I'll come back to you. Next thing is, you said in the seniority system you are not biased and there is no favoritism.
Their chances are more in merit.
Are you 100% sure that it's
Yes, I'm 100% sure that chances are more in merit, not in seniority. If a person is getting promotion on the basis of seniority, the organization has seen his or her work, and on the basis of that they are judging. And if they are hiring or promoting only on the basis of merit, maybe he has a good relation with the boss or HR people. So on the basis of their personal relation or whatever personal contact, they may be promoting. So there are more chances in merit that it will be on favoritism or out of line promotion, but not in case of seniority.
Yeah, that is. We don't agree with your statement that there is loopholes in the. You are saying that there is a loopholes in the evaluation methods where there is a room for favoritism, and I'll tell you there is no loopholes in my speech. And again, you said that a principal, when he becomes a head of a principal, he should be an experienced. If two people with a good academic record, if it is there, and good past experience is not, past performance is there, whom do you prefer? And we are also unmarried, we don't talk about whether he is going to be a student or Good evening, everyone, and my worthy opponents. My teammates explained well about the importance of the merit-based system. I'm here to share a few words about the modern techniques we are going to use that is used in the merit-based system and the current trend of changes across the globe. In recent decades, the process of managing the people has become more specialized and highly effective evaluation methods are implemented. Modern merit-based system implements the performance management evaluation method, which is about aligning the organizational objective with the employee's agreed skills, competency requirements, development plans, and the delivery of the results. It emphasizes on the improvement, learning, development in order to achieve the overall objective of the organization and create a very high performance workforce. In this performance management system, the communication, there is a very frequent communication between the managers and the employers. Frequent reviews helps to have a clear vision about their roles and their objectives. As performance objectives and expectations are clearly decided in advance, everyone knows the rules on what basis they are going to be assessed and how they are going to be assessed. Because in this performance management system, they are maintaining a performance diary which is held both by the manager and the employees. On what basis they are discussing the issues, both will be recording it, which they will be holding for the year. At the end of the assessment and the period of evaluation, this will be utilized by both. So everyone will be focused on their achievement on both their personal and their business objectives. Employee experiences real personal development and become more engaged with the organization as is very clear about the objective right from the starting itself. And also the visibility is increasing not only in the area of a right path and also where there is some lagging in the system. Even that also is focused. And there is any problem, it has been corrected for the training and promotion for trainings and to be acted upon quicker. As a result, learning to the employee and the productivity to the organization happen simultaneously. The greatest progress in nations of the world has been achieved where promotions and honors were given based on the merit basis, and here I am going to share a few examples. In the United States, the federal government civil service exams system, perhaps a best known example for the merit-based system, where more than 2.7 million civil servants are working across 456 departments, where the system they follow is only the pure merit-based system, merit-based promotion system, where even the well-educated and motivated and capable persons are attracted towards the civil service exams where they can exhibit their capability and performance. It also gives the credibility to the government from the public point of view. In India, Baba Atomic Research Center, the Department of Atomic Energy, which is contributing much to the development of Indian nuclear program, promotes all the dedicated scientists and innovative engineers based on the merit-based system only, with the extensive researches as brought the attention of world developed countries towards the Indian nuclear program. Information technology sector, which is still in its infancy, but because of its rapid growth and developing not only the organization but also the country. An article by the International Human Resource Management in Japan, it shows that how it was taken in 2009. It shows that how the very long old lifetime employment system is turning towards a Western merit-based promotion system as now it is going to
Thank you for the speech. And I was really looking forward to some arguments for merit. You delivered arguments which I would like to question you about. The modern techniques of managing people are very sophisticated and they measure organizational skills. Where are these techniques used? We have countries across the world that are not really developed technologically. How do we measure this in a rural environment? How do we measure it in a farm environment? How do we measure this in an environment that's not all connected, high-tech environment? What would you use in a high-tech environment? Can you still use merit that is so subjective to decide in those kinds of environments, third world countries?
Even in this farm industries also, the managers will have the equal, they'll be watching from the progress and what her all is doing. So it is easily measurable. It doesn't need in that case also. Now only they are using the modern techniques, but the olden days they were using the reports based on their ability, based on their how they are handling the work, based on their how they are alerting the work and how they are performing the work, which is.
You said these are sophisticated methods, and I really don't see another man somewhere in Iowa using these kinds of, or another country, actually, Iowa is a bad example, but in a third world country using these sophisticated methods. And then you said they are watching the progress. How does progress come? Doesn't come with experience and seniority? How can you have progress overnight?
Progress doesn't come overnight. Progress it is not, and it also it
what
is a day,
the measurement
yeah,
for how much time
even
you
a
give
day,
them to
even
progress?
a day work done is a progress. You agree or not?
No, I don't think.
It
In
is.
one day, I would never argue you. If you come to my company and you say, I work here for 1 day, thank you very much, go and get more experience. Then you say that the company has visions and objectives and rules and the performance is recorded.
Yes.
Who records this experience and how do I know that his merit is the merit that, or the standard that should be applied?
Yeah.
How objective is this?
Yes. Shall I?
Yes.
The performance diary record is not only maintained by the manager, it is also maintained by the individual. The both will be holding the records. At the same time, they will be recording it. At the end of the appraisal or the performance verification, the both will be holding it. If you are, and at the time of, you can verify it. If he is going to deny it, you can surely.
If you have not two
at every
employees
point of time, you are having a communication.
Okay, thank you. If you have 2 employees, the same merit level, if you don't have merit, fire this person. I would just fire you. If you come to my company. According to Team South Kuwait, they use the definition of privilege again, of promotion again, and emphasize the word privilege. That is the problem, because this leads to discrimination, this leads to sexism, this leads to favoritism, this leads to discrediting people that are minorities, African Americans, or otherwise disadvantaged people. Let's say special needs people. Merit, in the definition, merit is good. What is good? What is good for you is not good for me. How does your merit is better than my standard for merit? Who can decide that the merit and the standard is the valid criteria? Do you want an experienced worker to manage your company? The tables that were shown, and we could not see them very clearly, showed qualities that are earned through seniority, through experience, through years of work. I simply cannot imagine that somebody walks in with a manual, has all the degrees in his pocket, and he will be experienced enough or qualified enough to do that. Merit, in our understanding, is implied in seniority. If you don't have merit, you have no place in my company, because you can only only earn it through seniority. Army. You said that favoritism is in army. Of course it is in army, and that was one of my arguments which I had to remove because of the time limitation. In the Indian army, there were fake merit records, and that was the example that was in April 2014 in the Times of India. How can one person have all the skills? One person cannot have all the skills. The president has a bunch of advisors to help him. How merit? We never said, you say merit is the only consideration. This is a very black and white vision of the world. Our research showed a huge variety of approaches to this issue. Team Capital Speakers has presented data from a variety of countries and a variety of jobs to show that seniority-based promotion ensures not only quality leadership, but also social justice and equal opportunity for all. The top priority must be given to the promotion systems as they apply to the heroes who protect our lives in times of crisis. The police, the firefighters. There are 3 things that guarantee that the candidates are experienced and discrimination is eliminated. The 3 things are seniority, seniority, seniority. In the United States, millions of dollars have been lost in lawsuits, and careers have been stalled because of favoritism that comes with merit. In the United States and in the UK, the myth of meritocracy is very strong. Social mobility in these 2 countries is the lowest, which I myself could not believe. Where is the American dream? Social mobility is the highest in countries that believe in seniority, which is Northern Europe. Trade unions protect millions of workers by ensuring that seniority-based promotions are applied. Seniority-based promotions ensure we have the best possible doctors, nurses, teachers, pilots. Merit-based promotions as a system are a myth. Meritocracy failed spectacularly in the United States. Seniority is history's favorite child. Do you really want to give up a secure, routine job that feeds your family for one that tickles your ambition and creative ego? At 33 years of age, do you really want to be interviewed by a 25-year-old something who could be your younger brother? Do you really want to feel like a dinosaur at the age of 40 when all opportunities and promotions go to the 30-year-old nerds?
Good evening once again, and thank you very much for nice speeches. Let me touch upon some of the points raised by them. They are really interesting points. The one of the point my worthy opponent raised that in my office, if you come with 1 day of work, you will go back and come again and work more. At the same time, they are suggesting that seniority-based system should promote based on seniority. If you are 1 day senior, you will be promoted, other guys will not be promoted. So it's conflicting with each other, their own statements. Another interesting question asked by another worthy opponent that will you fly with an aeroplane where the pilot is not that much experienced? My question to you, will you fly with an aeroplane where the pilot is very much experienced but is not having ethics and he sleeps in the cockpit? Will you fly? I will not. They are telling that it cannot be measured, merit cannot be measured, but they are not aware that there are many techniques which are key performance indicators, balanced scorecard, which converts these parameters into the figures, digits, and this can be easily measured. So that point is not correct because of the lack of research which I see. Again, they are trying to emphasize in the speeches that senior guys should be promoted. Seniors are more valuable. Seniors should be at the top. That shows that there are so much bias for the seniors, whereas opportunities based on their capabilities. The measurement is for the capabilities, not senior, junior, educated, non-educated. Moreover, what we have tried to say that there is a direct measurement possible in the merit-based system, whereas in the seniority-based system it goes by the magic number. 5 years you will become senior manager. If he achieves everything in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years and goes, I am capable to become senior manager. No, come with the magic number, 5 years. Don't come before. So your hard work, your dedication, your extra work which you put to learn, to educate yourself, to keep yourself master, that is of no use. Wait for the magic number. Merit system is now not only for the promotion, it is developed a lot. It serves many purposes, not the promotion. As my team member explained, it is a two-way communication. It aligns the goals of the employee with organization. There is a development of employee as well as organization. The employee gets aware that what is the goal of organization, accordingly he works. So both achieve together. When the organization observes that he is not able to perform, they identify the training needs and accordingly he is trained, he is educated to make him perform. So it's a win-win situation. And that ultimately helps the customers of the organization because the capable people are sitting at the right position, correct people at the right position, not the wrong people at wrong correct position. And that's why if we go by seniority-based system, it's not good for employee, not for organization, not for customer, because it spoils everyone. Imagine a person, your manager, is not capable and working as your boss. What will happen to you? Just imagine that situation. Moreover, it helps to retain good people and develop who are not able to perform. So that's the situation, healthy situation we need in our organization. Whereas in the seniority-based system, good people will leave and others will remain there without any development. Even the world-renowned organization, our organization, Toastmasters International, doesn't believe in seniority-based promotion. Anyone can become president here, anyone can become vice president in education without any seniority criteria. And that's the power of Toastmasters International. We all are part of it. Now, before I conclude, I have a few questions for you. Can you promote a soldier with no honesty to his country but has higher seniority? Can you promote a scientist with no innovation capacity but has higher seniority? Can you promote a doctor who has no ethics and save your organs after surgery but has high seniority? Will you promote a CEO? He has no leadership skills but has high seniority. Will you promote an artist who is not having passion for his art but has high seniority? The questions are for you and for you. If you still follow the seniority, then all the best for your future. Thank you so much.
I request the debaters to come on stage to collect your certificates while the judges will go to mark their scores.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and there is one certificate for the moderator.